Hey, this is Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today, we're going to be talking about the FLR network. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. We're going to start this off looking at a video that FLR network made about their time at Eth Global Brussels. Let's check it out.
It's great to be here. This is the first Eth Global that we've ever participated in. And it's great to be a sponsor of the event. I think there's about 1,500 developers who have come to participate here in Brussels. And it's been a real pleasure and an honor and a privilege to meet all the different developers who are interested in using FLR as native oracles. There's been a lot of questions about what it means in terms of decentralization and security, in terms of the applications that they want to use our price and state-based oracles, and how they can sort of integrate those as part of cross-chain interoperability enabled by using Layer 0, who recently integrated FLR. I think the level of energy and the kinds of questions really make me think that there's an exciting future for the blockchain space, and I can't wait to see a little bit more of what's built after. We definitely have some great applications for the tracks that we've laid out, and the next years will really kind of prove what we can see in terms of real adoption for blockchain.
People are building on FLR, and you love to see it. FLR's only been out for 2 years, and you go to the Eth Global conference, and you have people who want to use FLR as their tool for development. That's incredibly bullish. We see this tweet from the FLR community. Emissions incoming. Soon you'll be able to turbocharge your returns when interacting with applications on the FLR network via the newly passed emissions program, where they're unlocking a 510 million FLR war chest. The initiative is aimed at catalyzing adoption, with the first two projects being Stargate Finance and Layer 0 Labs, helping facilitate the inflow of stablecoins such as USDT and USDC into FLR. Let's jump over to Polkadot Leader. After an extensive amount of research, I have concluded that the FLR networks would provide Polkadot with a better oracle and external data service than Chainlink. He tags Hugo Filion and says, "Let's make it happen, Captain." We see that Brent Draxel comments, "This is precisely the kind of attitude we have to have in the cryptosphere. While there's already a variety of solutions, we also have to be open-minded. Perhaps there's another tech that outperforms better in XYZ. We see it Stallison. We see this down below from Stallinson. Safe bridges. FLR. Yeah, you want safe bridges when you're dealing with your money. You don't want to be passing along the bridge and have to pull out the fire extinguisher, you know? So all jokes aside, we're going to look at this thread from Zeus the Great, where he says, Layer 0 Labs, Stargate Finance, SparkDex AI, QuickSwaps Dex, Clearpool Fin, Hex Trucks, Rome Blockchain, who built Benki Finance, which is on AVAX. These are just a few of the major brands building with FLR. He also says FLR currently has over 1 million connected wallet addresses, is already connected to a top 5 omni-chain bridge, has reached 10k F-Assets demo DApp users. They have 6 billion FLR staked, they have nearly 5k delegators. Goes on to say, interoperability and reach, top quality data availability, data security. FLR features all of the above and goes above and beyond, combining them with data accuracy, reliability, and ultra-low costs. As a result, what FLR offers is a universal layer for blockchain ecosystem specifically designed to provide data certainty and accessibility. This is a great thread. I'm going to continue going on about it. The FDSO is a next-gen provision system designed to deliver highly decentralized price and data feeds to dApps on FLR with updates every 1 to 2 seconds. The best part, no need for centralized providers, and it's free. Already, the FDSO has 50 feeds running, but the maximum capacity is 1,000. So we have to bear in mind that with the Layer 0 V2 integration, FLR can be connected to 50k dApps on 70 plus chains. Zeus goes on to say that FLR gathers vast amounts of data. It's one thing to be able to gather vast amounts of data. It's another thing to trustlessly and securely provide data proofs of activities outside of FLR. The FLR data connector does that. There's also F-Assets, which have the power to unlock 70% of the total value of all blockchains. F-Assets are permissionless and a trustless bridge that makes earning yields and rewards on decentralized platforms possible using non-smart contract tokens like XRP and Bitcoin. Any project building on FLR will have access to exceptional liquidity, optimization, and volume. When you add this to the fact that FLR is also partnered with Stargate Finance to provide unified liquidity across 25 plus top chains, the implications are good. So then we have industry-leading yields. The proof of Flare Network's immense quality is perfectly exemplified by the super DeFi yields. With a new DeFi emissions program featuring a massive 20 billion Flare incentive pool, Flare is going to provide unmatched DeFi yield levels. The interesting thing is that Flare, Stargate, and Layer 0 integrations make it very easy for bridge stables and ETH from other chains to join Flare and earn a share of the incentives. And of course, there's also the Flare Drops program with a reward pool of 24 billion Flare. So there's the Flare Drops. So if you hold for the next 2 years and you either delegate or stake, you get a once a month airdrop around mid-month for about 1 to 5% of your bag, depending on who's holding. You know, the more people that hold, the less the percentages. Flare Network says, learning and starting something new this summer, try building with Flare and Layer 0 Labs. Flare is now connected to 75 plus blockchains and 50,000 dApps enabled by the Layer 0 V2 integration. This opens up a world of possibilities for developers to build powerful cross-chain tools and services. Seamless token usage. Imagine users seamlessly using tokens across different blockchains. Layer 0's OFT standard makes this a reality, paving a way for a thriving DeFi ecosystem to Flare. Borrow and lend across chains with cross-chain money markets. This creates a more interconnected financial landscape on Flare, opening doors for yield farming and more. In the recent hackathon, IZ Lend gave it a shot and won our 7K track. Manage your digital identities with ease. Imagine a world where users don't need to juggle multiple wallet addresses and usernames for different chains to interact with your Flare dApps. That's the power of Layer 0 V2 and universal name services for Flare developers. I love it. I mean, it sounds great, right? So looking at Layer 0's website, we see that they're the omni-chain of the future. The largest titles in Web3 gaming choose Layer 0 for interoperability. They do have Mavia, which I haven't played their game, but I would love to check it out. We see that PancakeSwap and Uniswap are on here, the Bitcoin Bridge, Stargate, Aave, which I've heard Digital Asset Investor talked about Aave. We'll have to look into more of these projects, but I like what Layer 0 is up to. The token ticker is ZRO. It looks like you can buy it on Binance and Coinbase. It's been around $4 its whole life. It dropped down to $2.50 if you were lucky enough to get in there. I don't own any Zero, but it sounds promising, and the fact that they connect you to all these blockchains, it might be a good buy. None of this is financial advice. Thank you for being with us. Until next time.